In this second set of functions, we have g of x equal x squared minus 2x. Our second function is n of x equal 3x minus 4. So we're going to do the same process with the same four basic functions: adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So, example 1. Adding g plus n of x is just g of x plus n of x. So, we're going to write g of x first. So, x squared minus 2x. And I'm going to write that in parentheses. And then plus, and then I'm going to write n of x. So, 3x minus 4. Also in parentheses. Now, what I'm going to do is, since we have a plus outside of parentheses, I'm going to distribute. Just to keep in practice. Alright. Since there are no negative numbers or numbers, just an invisible one, so we can drop the parenthesis. Again, if there's an invisible one, we can just drop the parenthesis for the first set. So, x squared minus 2x. Now, a positive 1 times 3x, that's just plus 3x. Now, a positive 1 times minus 4, that's just minus 4. Alright. Now, the only like terms we can combine, since we don't have to multiply or divide anymore, are these two. So, I'm bringing down the x squared, combine minus 2x plus 3x, that's going to give us just a positive 1x. And I'm going to bring down to minus 4. Now there's no more terms to combine. X squared is by itself, x is by itself, and the 4 is by itself. Pretty much done. So I'm going to write out the answer form. So g plus n of x equal x squared plus x minus 4. So that's pretty much it for adding two functions. Alright, so we have our second example. This time it's minus, subtract. So since g is first, g of x will go first, and then minus, and then n of x. Same function. Same practice as before. I'm going to write g of x first. So x squared minus 2x in parentheses, and then minus n of x. So 3x minus 4, and again parentheses. Now our minus. I'm going to distribute the minus to everything inside. So, as before, invisible 1, I can just drop the parenthesis on the first set. Again, the first set. So it's just x squared minus 2x. Alright, now we're going to distribute the minus. So negative 1 times 3x, that's minus 3x. Negative 1 times minus 4, well, that becomes plus 4. Alright, now we're going to combine like terms. Since I have nothing else to multiply or divide, so these two I can combine because they both have x. Bring down to x squared. So minus 2x minus 3x, that's just minus 5x. And then bring down to plus 4. Alright, since there's no more terms to combine, then I'm just going to write out the answer form. So g minus n of x equal x squared minus 5x plus 4. So again, that's pretty much all we can do. So I'm going to box this up. And that's it. So for our third example, we have multiplication. G times n of x. Now keep in mind, times. It's very different from the symbol for composition. Multiplication would just be a dot. Now g times n of x is just g of x times n of x. Keep in mind that if it was reverse order, it would be n of x times g of x. Just keep that in mind. So, since g of x is first, I'm going to write g of x here, and just like before, parenthesis, and then n of x. So 3x minus 4. Now, like I said before, you can either use FOIL or you can use the box method. Doesn't matter to me. Alright, so I'm going to show the work for FOIL, which is this. This is the first half. And then this will be the second half. Alright, so x squared times 3 of x, well, that's going to be just 3x to the third, because x squared and x with an invisible 1, there's an invisible 1 here, that becomes 3x to the third power. Then x squared times minus 4, that will be minus 4x x squared. And then now we're working on the second half. So minus 2x times positive 3x, that's going to be minus 6x squared. And then minus 2x times minus 4, well, that would become a plus 8x. Alright, we're done with foiling, multiplying. Now we're just going to combine like terms. So this is the only x to the third power, this is the only x to the invisible 1 power. We have 2x to the second power, so we're going to combine these two. I'm going to bring down the 3x to the third power. So minus 4x squared minus 6x squared, well, that becomes minus 10x squared. And then I'll bring down the plus 8x. So, nothing else to combine, no more like terms, x to the third, x squared, and then just x. Well, then our answer form will be just g times n of x equal 3x to the third minus 10x squared plus 8x. So again, no more like terms to combine. That is just the answer for this form. And I'm going to box this up. And that's it. Alrighty, we have our fourth example, which is this, and our fifth example. Now I decided to do both division just in case to see what happens when you have one that's x squared minus 2x and the other 3x minus 4. So, this one, g divided by n of x is just g of x divided by n of x. So that means that g of x will be on top, so I'm going to write g of x first. So x squared minus 2x over 3x minus 4. Alright, now if I were to check to simplify, I can factor out the x here. So these two terms both have x. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out the x, I'm going to factor out the x. So x squared divided by x will just be x. And then minus 2x divided by x will just be minus 2 over 3x minus 4. Now, I cannot cross out common terms. I cannot divide because they're not the same. So that means that I can't really do anything there. So I'm stuck with this, which is a good thing. Now, I pretty much finished half of the work. Now I need to set the denominator 3x minus 4 not equal to 0. So we're going to solve for x. So plus 4 plus 4. So 3x not equal to 4, and then divide by 3. So x does not equal to 4/3. Alright, so that's the second half. We pretty much finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write g divided by n of x equal to this part right here. So x squared minus 2x over 3x minus 4, comma, x cannot equal to 4/3. So again, g divided by n of x equal to x squared minus 2x over 3x minus 4, where x does not equal to 4/3. So that's pretty much it, and box that up. Now for the last example, we're going to just work on n of x divided by g of x. So I wrote right here the n of x divided by g of x. Now just like in example 4, we can't simplify because we already factor out and there was nothing you can cross out, divide. So we're okay with this. Again, the reason we can skip the simplifying part was because we already did it right here. If you were just given this question, then yes, you would have to factor out and check if you can simplify one step further. Now, we finished our first half of the work. We're going to set the denominator, x squared minus 2x not equal to 0. So since these two terms have x, we're going to have to factor out the x. So again, factor out means divide. So this x will be on the outside. So x squared divided by x is just x. And then minus 2x divided by x is just minus 2. Not equal to 0. So I'm going to write it right here. We have two terms, x and x minus 2. So we set the first one not equal to 0. Nothing you can do here, no adding, no subtracting. Now x minus 2. Set that not equal to 0. And then we're going to add 2. Alright, so now we're going to have x not equal to 2. So we have our two conditions for our denominator, x not equal to 0 and x not equal to 2. So that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to write out the answer. So n divided by g of x equal 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 2x, comma, x cannot equal to 0, comma, x cannot equal to 2. So in this case, again, we have two terms, x cannot equal to 0 and x cannot equal to 2, because we factor out the x and we have two terms here. So I'm going to box this as our answer, and that's pretty much it.